Dustin Johnson's skill set has always made him a standout player in golf. Even now, he's pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the course. His ability to recover from setbacks has made him a fan favorite. Yet there is a truth hidden behind all this fame that could change his legacy forever. Dustin Johnson was an unstoppable force on the golf course who broke many records during his period of dominance. But behind the trophies, million-dollar contracts, and a career that rewrote the record books lies a darker, more complicated truth that he kept hidden. Today, we will take a look at what Dustin had been hiding all those years. On June 19, 2016, Dustin Johnson faced a tense and uncertain day at the U.S. Open. During his round, he was informed that he might be penalized for a possible rules violation after his ball moved slightly on the 5th green. Despite the pressure, Johnson stayed composed, sinking a crucial 10-foot par putt at the 16th. He then finished strong with a birdie on the 18th. After the round, the penalty was applied, adjusting his score to a final 69, giving him a 4-under total of 276. This was enough to secure a 3-shot win over Jim Furyk, Scott Piercy, and Shane Lowry, earning Johnson his first major championship victory. The emotional relief was clear as he celebrated with a fist pump and a wave to the crowd. Dustin Hunter Johnson was born on June 22, 1984, in South Carolina. He was the eldest of 3 children of Scott Johnson and Candy Nee Wisnett. His father had been a professional golfer, and his grandfather was an all-ACC basketball player, so athleticism had been in his DNA from the start of his life. At the age of 6, his father introduced him to golf, and pretty soon, he started to see the golfing talent inside of him. Dustin would take his father at night to the golf course, where both would practice till 9 p.m. He was in 7th grade at Irmo High School when he was giving trials to a coach who had thought the kid was just too young to play. One swing of his club changed the mind of his coach, and all his worries were gone. At an age when kids were preparing to enter high school, Johnson was ranked in the top 10 players in the state tournaments. At 14, he was shooting low to mid-60s and breaking many local course records. After finishing high school, he enrolled at Coastal Carolina University to study sports management. He trained under the guidance of Alan Terrell, who refined his talent and helped him win many prestigious titles, including the Monroe Invitational and all Big South honors at the Big South Conference Championship in his freshman year. When Johnson turned pro, he went on to win a title in every season of his first 13 seasons, coming only second to Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. He was continuously in the top 10 golfers for over a decade and held the top position for a total of 130 weeks. But with this much fame came some dark sides in his life that he kept hidden from his fans during this period. Today, we will be taking a look at what Johnson kept secret from his fans during all this time. Subscribe as we will be breaking down the secret lives of your favorite players in coming videos, and let's get started with Dustin Johnson. The news appeared when all of a sudden in 2014, Johnson decided to take a leave. He announced he had been taking this leave because of some personal challenges and wanted to seek professional help. But in reality, he had been taking leave because of something he didn't want his fans to know. A report published by golf.com claimed that this wasn't a leave that Johnson had taken, but that he had been suspended by the tour. But what did Johnson do that made the tour call him off for 6 months? He had failed his doping tests, but as this came as a shocker to everyone, he hadn't failed a drug test once. He had failed it multiple times. Once, he failed tests for marijuana in 2009 and 2 tests for cocaine, one in 2012 and another in 2014. Johnson had been suspended for his failed test in 2012. However, this suspension never caught the public eye because of PGA Tour guidelines, as they are not required to announce the disciplinary action taken against the players for using recreational drugs. This had huge consequences on his personal and professional life. His reputation took a hit as fans debated the reasons behind these suspensions. Despite denials from his team, this controversy followed him everywhere he went. The PGA Tour, for its part, released a statement claiming Johnson's leave was voluntary and not a suspension. Executive Vice President of the Tour, Ty Vota, also declined to comment further, stating that the Tour does not address rumors or speculation. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Johnson shared that during his process of self-discovery, he learned ways to deal with stress, He admitted that partying or drinking had been his way of coping with stress, but sometimes it didn't work, as the stress would keep piling up on him. Johnson claimed he would drink too much, and the only change he has made is that he has left it behind now. But this didn't stop rumors from coming out from other people. He acknowledged that he was regularly tested, but nothing like this had ever been found. That wasn't the only time fans criticized him for his actions. In June 2022, Johnson announced his retirement from the PGA Tour. It came as a shock to fans why one of their beloved sports stars was leaving the game. Johnson has made just over $74 million during his time as a pro golfer on the PGA Tour. It is the third highest earnings, only coming second to Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. But there was lots of money in the Saudi-backed Live Series for all the participants. Reports began to speculate that Johnson would make around $100 million aside from the prize money in those competitions. Johnson's debut on the LIV circuit was marked by another surprise. He was announced as the ambassador of Golf Saudi, and on the same day he was playing Saudi Arabia's national event, but he carded a 1-over-par 63. It was difficult for both Johnson and Golf Saudi, as one of the best players in the world, and their new ambassador had fallen short of the cut line. Despite these controversies, Dustin Johnson remains one of the most talented and successful golfers in history. Let's dive deeper into his remarkable career and legacy. Dustin Johnson's journey into professional golf began in late 2007, when he turned pro and qualified for the 2008 PGA Tour by tying for 14th place at the 2007 qualifying school. His rookie season in 2008 was the start of an extraordinary career. He immediately started to show huge power that would become his trademark in golf. That year, he posted 3 top 10 finishes and ranked 42nd on the money list. In October of that year, Johnson was finally able to win his PGA Tour title, the Turning Stone Resort Championship, when he birdied each of the final 2 holes. In 2009, he won his second event title at the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. The game was shortened to 54 holes due to bad weather. Johnson took the win by 4 strokes over Mike Weir and added another title to his name. He was quickly becoming a star. In the 2009 Masters, Johnson made an eagle putt on the 13th hole and holed out from 173 yards on the next hole. He became the second player in Masters tournament history to eagle 2 consecutive holes. That year, he also moved up the money list and came in 15th place. In 2010, Johnson solidified his status as one of golf's brightest talents. He successfully defended his AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am title and made a strong showing at the US Open, holding a 3-stroke lead after 3 rounds. But things took a sudden turn in the final round, where he shot an 82 and finished tied for 8th place. That same year at the PGA Championship, Johnson appeared to finish the tournament tied for the lead. However, he received a 2-stroke penalty for grounding his club, which dropped him to 5th position. He finally broke his bad luck streak by winning the BMW Championship in September. It was his 4th title on the PGA Tour and a 4th place finish on the money list. It seemed like bad luck wasn't leaving Johnson for that long. In 2011, he entered the final round of the WGC Cadillac Championship and had a 2-stroke lead, but he couldn't turn it into a win and finished as runner-up in that event. Then came the 2011 Open Championship, and Johnson had all eyes on it. After 3 rounds, Johnson was 1 stroke behind Darren Clarke, but he couldn't overcome that deficit and finished tied for 2nd place alongside his fellow American, Phil Mickelson. Following this 2nd place finish, Johnson moved to his highest ranking of 7th in the official World Golf Ranking. His 5th PGA Tour title came at the Barclays in 2011. This tournament was also shortened to a 54-hole tournament, and Johnson beat Matt Kuchar by 2 strokes to collect another PGA Tour title. This win further moved him up the golf rankings to 4th place, making him the 2nd highest ranked American. The following year, a back injury from pulling a jet ski later sidelined him from the Masters. But it was later revealed that he couldn't play because he had been suspended due to a failed drug test. He made his comeback in late May at the Memorial Tournament in Ohio, but finished tied for 19th place in that tournament. The following week, he played the FedEx St. Jude Classic and won his 6th PGA Tour title. His 2013 season began strongly, and he won the Hyundai Tournament of Champions with 4 strokes over the defending champion Steve Stricker. That year later, he won another PGA Tour title that was part of the 2013-14 PGA Tour season. Johnson became the first player since Tiger Woods to win at least 1 title in his first 7 seasons. In the following year, Johnson announced he was seeking professional help, but it was found out that it was again due to a drug suspension. Returning in 2015, Johnson's resilience paid off with consistent top finishes and a win at the WGC Cadillac Championship. This win took him to the 7th spot in the official rankings and earned him $1.57 million. He started the subsequent year with top 10 finishes. He came close to winning many tournaments, but couldn't convert them into victories. Then came the 2016 US Open. After the final round finished, Johnson was given a one-shot penalty because of an incident on the 5th green. As Johnson was preparing to hit the ball for a par putt, his ball had moved slightly. Johnson stepped away, saying he hadn't moved it. But even though with this one-shot penalty, he went on to win the title. This was his 29th major appearance, and he had finally won his first major title. This win moved him to 3rd position in the official world golf rankings. That year, he earned PGA Player of the Year honors and led the PGA Tour money list. In 2017, Johnson reached new heights, becoming the world's #1 golfer after a dominant win at the Genesis Open by 5 strokes. In March, he went on to win his 4th WGC title with a victory in WGC Mexico Championship. 3 weeks later, he won the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play event and became the first player to win all 4 WGC events. That year, he fell downstairs and sustained a back injury, which led him to withdraw from the 2017 Masters event. He won his 16th tour title at the Northern Trust and moved up the money list with over $8 million in earnings. At the start of 2018, Johnson won the Century Tournament of Champions with an 8-stroke victory. In June, he won the St. Jude Classic for the 2nd time, gaining back his #1 ranking spot. He won his 3rd PGA title of that year in July and also took part in the Ryder Cup team, but ended up losing to Europeans. The following year, he tied for the Masters tournament and finished runner-up in the PGA Championship. But even with all this hardship, Johnson helped his team win the Presidential Cup in 2019, held in Australia. In August of 2020, he had a 54-hole lead, but couldn't convert it into a win yet again, finishing tied for 2nd place, 2 strokes behind the winner. He won the Tour Championship at East Lake that year, and his amazing performance also led him to win the FedEx Cup, and he was voted the 2020 PGA Player of the Year. In November of that year came the Masters tournament, where he recorded a 20 under par total of 268, breaking the record of Tiger Woods. His streak of winning at least one PGA Tour title every season extended to 14 years, cementing his legacy as one of the most consistent players in golf history. He continued to win tournaments in the coming years before finally retiring from the PGA in 2022 and moving to play live golf in Saudi Arabia. Though his decision sparked controversy, his achievements on the course remain unparalleled. Johnson's story is one of incredible talent, resilience, and perseverance. We hope you enjoyed Dustin Johnson's incredible story. We will be uploading more stories about your favorite athletes in the coming weeks. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on those. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts about Dustin Johnson in the comments down below.